Good morning and welcome to Alto Insider. We have got a handful of people here today that are going to present a number of different features to us. We're just waiting for everyone to join, so we will fill the void with how's everyone's Black Friday shopping going and where are you all located? Going to be difficult with this many people, so I expect a lot of shouting out at this point. But Sam, how's your Black Friday?
I'm trying to refrain from buying anything on Black Friday.
Oh, what a disappointment. Oh dear. Well, hopefully you got some deals. Madeline, grabbed any deals?
No, not yet. Nothing worth buying.
Not the most exciting. I was waiting to see what I could then quickly log on to Amazon and steal those ideas. Numbers are growing at the moment, so everyone's just entering. Like I said, now we've got a few people in. Let's kind of kick things off. So, as I said, welcome to today's Alto Insider. Don't forget you've got the Q&A chat either at the top or at the bottom, depending on where you've positioned your Zoom console, but fire questions into us. And again, the team will do their best to answer all of those as we go through. It got a very big audience today, so we're bringing you the 7 days of Alto. I'm sure you can see the theme there. We're going to be focusing today on diary colors, mobile diary. We've got Robin from Bamboo Auctions, who's going to take us through our latest integration. We're going to focus on our new adder property listing that's coming this year and continues to evolve. We're going to look at our new publisher listing journey. Bill's going to take us through property file bulk invites and again, a couple of tips. And we've got Matt here from customer support, who's going to talk us through the Christmas opening hours and some changes and evolution that's happened in that support space as well. And as mentioned, like I say, fire your questions in. But we're going to go straight into things. So we're going to go straight into diary colors. And we've got Jan, who's going to talk through one of our most requested features that happens to be those diary colors. So Jan, I'm going to hand over to you to share your screen and show us where they can find this and how they can make changes to those diary colors. So
absolutely. Thank you, James. So I have shared my screen now. So I'm very excited to show you this new feature. So in our diary now, we can now have our general appointments can all have different colors. So as you can see, if I was an inspection clerk, I can see my inspections very clearly in the diary. So to set these up, what we need to do, we would go to the top right here to tools. We would then click on to templates and admin. When we click onto system administration, we would need to have administrator permissions to go to the next step. If I now click onto group settings, and if I scroll down where we have all of the places where we can edit, you'll see at the bottom here, I have diary colors. So we have always been able to assign colors to our market appraisals, to our viewings, our unconfirmed viewings. But up till now, we've just had one color for every single general appointment. And look now, we can have so many colors. We can also, in this screen, add a new diary type. So now if you thought, actually, I'll add a new diary type and assign a color, we can do it all from this screen. I'll show you those afterwards. I'm going to scroll down and I have a survey appointment in here, which I've just lost. So here's my survey. So currently it's in black. So if I click onto this is the background color. So you'll see a circle here. And as I slide the circle across, it will start changing colors. So if I decided that my survey was going to be a blue color, I can just click on here, click away, and it will then assign that blue color for me. You'll see underneath here that we do have our RGB. So you have your RGB codes. If I click onto the little arrow here, we'll change to HSL colors and click again, and it would also change to hex colors. So every color will have a hex code. I happen to know that burgundy is the hash, and it starts with 8 and 5 zeros. So if I now do that, you'll now see that now that's now changed to that burgundy. You'll notice I've got a pointer here. Now, before I actually click onto that pointer, what that will allow me to do is to click anywhere on my screen and change it to a color. Well, actually, the screen I'm looking at is pretty boring. So if I just restore that window down, here's one I prepared earlier. So this is a website where I will share the code, but this has got a recommended colorblind palette. So if I now go back onto my survey color and click on to the little pointer, I can now come over here and you'll see that my screen's turned into a circle. And if I click onto that color, that has now assigned that color to my survey. This color to the left-hand side is going to be the writing on top of my diary. So white's not going to show that well on here. So if I now choose the black, and again, I could have chosen multicolors if I really wanted to. If I click away, that's now going to do black on pink. If I thought I'd made an awful mistake, I could just do reset and it will go back to black, but I'm happy with that. So I'm going to go down and I'm going to click on submit. And then that takes me out of here. We would need to do a refresh to go and look at that color. But before I do that, I just wanted to show you that in our diary colors, if I click into here, I have got add subtype. We can also do it in diary subtypes. But if I go to add subtype, these are your current diary appointments, but now you can add all these exciting colors. You might think, oh, actually, let's go and add some more. So check that it's not here first. If it isn't, we can go to add new code. Like every general setting, if I type it in the once, I then need to copy it. So I'll just highlight that and do Control-C, but you could just write it in 3 times. I'm going to paste it in like so, and then click on create. And then I would need to go back into the diary colors and reassign that canvassing to a different color, how I showed you. If I now do a refresh, and if I now go back to my diary and I look at the week view, let's go to the diary, go to my week, go to my week summary, and you can now see that there is my lovely new pink color. And if I click into here, and if I did go to add general appointment, my canvassing appointment would be in this list in here. So that's our exciting diary colors. Back over to you, JD.
Thank you, Jan. I'm just going to take the screen back from you. And that's great to see. You can really now clearly identify those different appointment types. And I must admit, I learned something there around the color picker. How you could obviously click on that little icon and go to any piece of your stationery or branding and select the right color. And again, the drop down for the hex codes as well. So you're really clear to identify those key appointments. So thank you very much, Jan. I'm going to quickly now move on to Alto on mobile. So let's keep the theme of the diary and how we can now see our diary on the go. So Madeline's going to pick this up. So over to you, Madeline, to showcase how Alto Mobile has basically been evolving across the year.
Hi, good afternoon. So I'm really excited to have this opportunity to share this mobile diary with you. Just want to highlight at the start that I am doing this from a desktop, so please ignore all this stuff on the right-hand side. So, so exciting stuff. So I'm just going to sign into this. So as we can see, here is the mobile diary that you can see. And as soon as you log in, you'll be able to see the overview for your appointments for that day. So if you scroll down, you can just see there's plenty of appointments that have been booked in. If we can actually click into the appointment, so I'm going to click into the viewing one. And from this, you'll be able to see all the details. You'll be able to see the address, you'll be able to see the contact details, the property details, which we've got a floor plan, all the EPCs, the rent, everything that you need to know about the property, and any notes that you may have within inside of Alto. So for example, this one's showing that they need 48 hours notice before a viewing is to proceed or to be booked. You can also go into another view, just let it load up, where you'll be able to see what the diary generally looks like within your Alto. But from this, you can also do filters, where you can either look at just your calendar, or you can look at your colleague's calendar, or if you have other branches as well, it will come up with your other branches. So I can click out of all, and I can look at mine and AJ's, for example. And I'll be able to see mine and AJ's calendars for that day. And I'll go back to this again. Oh, not taking me back. And also the other great thing that you can do is you can also search for any contacts that you may have within Alto. I'm just going to check for this one. And it will bring up all contact details, so their telephone number, their email address, and their actual full address as well. So that's the really exciting, very quick overview of Alto Mobile. Apologies for the little bit of technical difficulties, but that was very, very quick, just to show you the new exciting feature that you can now use.
No problem. And
Back
I will
over to you.
back the share. And yeah, that's great to see. It's great to see that real-time view of your diary on your mobile. It was evident to see there again that we could see all the appointment types, the images for that property, the viewing notes, and key information to construct that viewing, as well as your market appraisals and inspections, and really simple to go and search on your contacts. So you can contact people on the go. Again, you've got those call to actions in there. If you click on the telephone number, that's a click to dial, click on their email address. And again, you'll be able to craft an email to then send off to that relevant recipient as well. So no, thanks for that, Madeline, and great recovery. Right, so coming away from Alto Core, I'm going to hand over to Robin now, who's going to talk about one of our latest integrations, which is Bamboo Auctions. So over to you, Robin.
Great, thank you, James. Yeah, so Bamboo is, so we provide technology to estate agents that allows agents to control, list and manage their own online auctions as a service. So in effect, using Bamboo's turnkey solution, you as an estate agent can become an online auctioneer, and you can offer the service from within your own website with your own branding, but fully supported by Bamboo, and now a new integration within your Alto CRM system. So some key features, as it says, is you can control your own auction. Obviously, the benefit of auctions, particularly in this current market that we're in, speed and certainty are, I know, very, very desirable amongst vendors. And using this service, agents can actually earn their revenue faster and shorten their transaction times with increased certainty. So what we're going to show you, what I'm going to show you today is just how simple the Bamboo Alto integration is. So what I'm going to do is just share my screen. So just bear with me 1 second. Hopefully this works. Oh, you should be able to see my screen now.
Yeah.
Perfect. So the way that it works is actually very simple. This is the Bamboo Auctions dashboard, and we've got some neat features in here. So you've got the ability to switch from light mode to dark mode, and this is where the integration with Alto actually happens. So if you don't have an integration with Alto, you'll see a different screen. which is actually on the next slide when we hand back to James. But if you want to integrate your Alto system with Bamboo, all you need to do is self-serve on the Alto CRM, request that integration, and James will show you how to do that, I think, in a minute. And once you've done that request, and once you've requested the integration, you just go into the Bamboo dashboard. If you don't have access to the Bamboo dashboard, you can email hello@bambooauctions.com and we'll give you access. And from here, you can actually see, you can click on View All under the Alto section. You'll be able to see that, and you'll be able to see all the appropriate properties from your Alto CRM system available for you to list into the Bamboo system. So from here, what we've done is we're analyzing descriptions of the properties that are in your Alto system and giving them a score. And the higher the score, the more appropriate for online auction we think those properties are. Of course, you need to check with your vendor, and it's all about vendor circumstances. But if your vendor is looking for speed of sale and greater certainty in the transaction, generally that then gets reflected in the description. So, for example, your property might be chain free, and we're analyzing based on keywords and attributing a score to those properties. It's out of 10. The higher the score, the more likely the property is appropriate for online auction. It's dead simple. So once you see the property that you want, and you can search for the property as well, so just typing the postcode into the search bar. But if you see the property that you want to add into the Bamboo system, click List with Bamboo and click Confirm. And that pushes that property from your Alto CRM system with all the details that you've populated in Alto. It will push that straight into the Bamboo dashboard, ready for you to list or publish as an online auction listing. If you have already published a property from Alto into Bamboo, it will show a view property listing from within the Alto section of your dashboard. And it's very quick. All you do is click View Property Listing, and it takes you to the property listing itself. From here, you can click the three buttons, the menu buttons, and you can edit that listing within the Bamboo platform, and you can save it at any point. And when you're ready, you can publish the property either with a starting soon or with a running timer, and you can select your end date and time. One extra neat feature is that if you have already published a property into the Bamboo system, and then you go back to your Alto system and you edit the property in Alto, you can update it in Bamboo just by clicking the three buttons and clicking Refetch Alto Data, and that will overwrite whatever you've put on the Bamboo side with what you've added on the Alto CRM system. It really is as simple as that. And if you have any questions or if you need any help at all, then the Bamboo customer support and customer success team are around and available to give you some help. And all you need to do is email hello@bambooauctions.com. And that's it. That's as straightforward as it sounds.
Brilliant. So yeah, I can see how simple that is. Great that all that data all added in Alto Core, as you saw me getting a bit excited earlier and clicking into Alto, but simplified, added into Alto, pushing across to Bamboo, and then you can manage those listings that you want to then market at auction. Let's now just take a quick look at how we can get that integration set up in Alto to start feeding across to that platform. So if I head into the Alto Core platform here, under my tools section and in my integrations, this is where I can find all of our current integration partners. So it's just going to load that screen, and I'm going to go and choose auctions. Here we can see we've now got an available integration with Bamboo, and I want to know more about that. If you're not currently a Bamboo customer and you want to become one, here you can register your interest. That information will be passed across to Bamboo, and we will then get that journey up and running. If you already have a Bamboo account, if we now click Integrate with Bamboo, confirm you have an account, and select Integrate, and that will now activate Bamboo Auctions on your Alto platform. In here, you can see that's now been sent across. So Robin, don't activate me, I'm not a real customer. But But we can see the date that was sent, when that's been
say
received.
I actually did just get a notification on my phone that you activated, so it's that quick.
That quick, there we are. And then obviously Robin would start to work on that, and I can see when that integration is expected to be live and updated in that Alto platform. So really simple to activate your integration within Bamboo. As we can see there, straight new notification straight away to turn that on, and then you're up and running using those Bamboo features and options. Excellent. As we move on, so now we're going to hand over to Lisa, I believe, who's going to take us through the new adding a property journey that we've again been releasing throughout the year and has continued to evolve with new updates, including photo listings, Zoopla links and prices. But I'll hold fire there and let Lisa showcase and explain all the great features that are in there.
Thanks very much, James. Let me just share my screen. Okay, fabulous. Yeah, sore subject about Black Friday. I'm banned from Black Friday.
Oh dear, what have you done? What did you do?
Just spending far too much regularly.
All right, so Visa have blocked all your credit cards on.
Yeah, yeah, something like that.
Make sure you put up on food.
So yeah, really pleased to show you this. Actually, it's been in the development for a while and we've made some small tweaks, but this is the new property journey, add a property journey. So we've created the new way to add a property, which should save you time in capturing the data. The information is now going to be pre-populated from data gathered from Zoopla and from HomeTrack. The journey starts in the property tab. So when you click on the blue add a property icon, you'll now be taken in, or you'll be taken into the new experience. Excuse me. Within this screen, you'll now have the option to search for your vendor. So if I pop in one of my vendors and search contacts, it will bring up any contacts within the system for that vendor or landlord. And then if they're not in the system, over on the right hand side, you do have an option to create a new contact. So for this scenario, I'm going to use one of my existing ones. So I'm just going to select Tim Ives. And then down in the bottom right, I'm going to use selected contact. What that then gives me is the details of the vendor or landlord over on the right hand side, and the option to either use their current address, which for him is registered in Bristol, or to add a new address. Again, for this scenario, I'm just going to add a new address. So I'm going to put in the full UK postcode. And then with the lookup postcode option, you can actually enter the details in manually, but with the lookup postcode option, it will then bring up all the addresses in that street. Select the one that's relevant. And then it will take you into the property details. So you can now see all the information that we hold for that property. Is it currently on or off the market? So this property is currently for sale, and I'll be able to view the listing on Zoopla. The details of the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the square footage, the year it was built, the tenure, the style of the property as well, and also the location on Google Maps. Another new feature that we've added into here is this appraiser notes box. So you'll be able to capture information from the vendor or landlord as you're speaking to them. You know, why are they moving? What's the motivation behind it? You'll also be able to see under the reference data where it's been previously sold, withdrawn, or remarketed. So yeah, it brings through a lot of information. Within this section as well, I mean, this is my default branch is to let, so it's actually defaulted to let, but I want to add it on for sale. You can choose whether it's residential or commercial, which branch it's allocated to, and you can reassign a different negotiator as well. As we move down to the property details section, some of this information since it was last marketed might well have changed. So at the moment we've got that it's 4 bedrooms, 3 receptions, but you do have the option to edit that section. And if they've increased the bedrooms with an extension, I mean, there's no bathrooms recorded for this one, so I can actually record on here what the bathrooms are. And again, there's nothing in the energy efficiency rating, but you do have the option to edit that. Once you're happy with all the information that's in there, and you click Save Property, that will create for you within Alto an appraisal record. So you can then go on from there, book the appraisal appointment, and hopefully win the instruction. It's all very exciting. And again, it's minimal data entry from an agent's perspective. All the information should be there based on past history. So yeah, very exciting.
Brilliant. Thank you, Lisa. If I just take back that screen from you as well. But it's great to see. It's actually the first time we've kind of linked data both from like Home Track and Zoopla, which is then populating that information for you, making you look like a real expert. You really understand all the properties that are available, the previous listing history, what it's on the market for right now, what it should realistically be on the market for.
I was going to say, I didn't mention the estimated valuation, did I? Estimated valuation.
Saving lots and lots of time. So all that information at your fingertips. So you look like, you know, you really understand your local market and what's happening, and giving that best guidance and advice. And of course, once you've now won that instruction, and as we'll go on to in a moment, and Sam shows us how to list that property correctly, pull straight into Bamboo Auctions as well. So then straight over to Robin to start marketing that from an auction perspective as well. So just real minimal data entry, speeding up, you know, your efficiency of working. So like I say, let's go to the next part of the journey. We've now seen a property that we want to take to market. We've canvassed that property. We've added that into the diary. We know we're going out to do a market appraisal. All the data's at our fingertips for taking that property on. And now we've won the instruction, and it's time to start to list that property. So let's hand over to Sam, who's going to talk us through the new journey to publish a listing. So Sam, over to you.
Okay, let me share my screen. So hi, my name is Sam. I'm excited to have this opportunity to introduce myself and to show you portal publishing. So let's take a look. On the top of your property page, we have got this portal publishing button. If I click into here, this will now provide the ability to review the listing on screen. It should help ensure greater accuracy of listings and hopefully reduce the number of post-publish amendments needed. So I can see straight away on here that I've got my council tax band and my summary both missing. If I click into Edit Council Tax Band, that will open the property and allow me to add those details. Okay, this will land on the property page. And I can see down here on the right-hand side, I've got the council tax band where you can select the band. Also note that if your property is exempt from the council tax band, you can put exempt and put the reason why, and the reason for exemption will get published to Zoopla. So I'll choose my band. Okay, whilst I'm here, I'll now go and add my summary as well. So if I click onto summary at the top, because the summary is missing, and I'll just quickly pop my summary in here.
Here's one I prepared earlier.
Here's one I prepared earlier. Yeah, absolutely. So now if I save those details with the button on the left-hand side, and now we can take another look at the portal publishing. So I can now see that the council tax and the summary is correct. Also in the gallery, we've recently added the new feature where you can scroll through the pictures to see the images that will be on the listing.
This will give it in the order, is that right, of how that's going to appear on Zoopla and other websites?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. As we scroll down, I can see the composition of the property. Everything's in here. The EPC, the bullet points, the key points, the summary that we've just added, and the summary and room description. We've also got access to the floor plans, and the tours, and the mapping from here. So if I'm happy with the way the property is displayed, I can click Publication Settings. And this will allow me now to either include all portals or exclude portals. And also if I want to put a delay on there as well. You have also got the option to add featured properties within Zoopla if you want to, and to find out more and remind me later on there. So closing there, just scrolling down, got all my portals listed. I can now view the content sent to those portals. Yeah, I'm happy. Come back to the property record. Okay, and then on the property, on the marketing tab, we've got publish to web. This will always point you to the portal publishing button. When I save, and then come back to the overview page, you'll now see the status saying that it's been sent to portals. I hope you enjoyed this brief overview.
Very much, Sam. It's brilliant. And again, it's just creating, and if I take the screen back from you, it's just ensuring that, you know, the data you're sending is correct, making sure there's no errors in that data you're sending, and really marketing that property in the best possible way. So thank you very much for that. So as we continue with our 7 days of Alto, we're up to number 6. And number 6 is going to be around property file and our bulk invites. And plus, Bill's just going to give us a little bit of a further overview here of our movement book as well. So Bill, if I hand over to you, you can take us through our new bulk invites to property file, and again, a couple of little top tips.
Okay, so previously with property file, you was only able to share singly, so you'd only be able to go into a contact and share access with them. But now, taking all the feedback from our wonderful clients, we've now introduced the option to bulk invite landlords, tenants, vendors to property file. Okay. So this is done by going into contacts.
Yep.
And then heading over to groups. Within groups, you will have in there groups, so you can have a group in there called landlords, potential vendors. So if we create a group.
Now I'm going to create a landlords group. I'm going to say that they are my clients and my landlord. Again, I can start to refine this over here on different branches and different users and GDPR principles as well. And I'm just going to
save that
group for you. So yeah, I've now got my group of landlords that I want to start inviting to property file.
So if you tick the box at the top, which is select all, and on the right hand side, if you select all 888 contacts from 36 pages, you can then go into actions, invite to property file. This will send out an invitation to people who have not received an invitation to property file. It will not send it to anybody who have accepted property file or an invitation is pending. And the same principles will apply for your tenants, your applicants.
Excellent. So I can create those groups as you saw me do earlier, specify the audiences I want in there, and then follow a similar principle to go and invite them. And if I just go back to me, again, you can see when that person was active, what email address they logged in at, when they last logged in. You can log in as admin to see the level of data you're supplying to them, deactivate their account, or reset their password. And as you mentioned earlier, Bill, if you didn't want to do this in bulk, you can come in, and what you'll see here is a send invite as well. Most importantly, you can control what properties they have access to. So I could obviously stop them from seeing certain sentences or properties they've got currently for sale or for rent. Yeah, but I'd say really simple. Like I say, building out those groups, targeting those audiences, and then send them a mass invite to property file.
And those of you who aren't sure about property file, whether you've used it or are going to use it, you can always head over to our help center. And within the help center, there is a section at the top, which is just property file. And you can go through the results in there, and I'll tell you, give you an overview how to configure it, how to activate it, how to configure it so what people can see.
Brilliant. That's excellent. I believe you had one more option for us as well. Back on the dashboard, you were going to just talk about a couple of widgets down the left-hand side that we often see are underutilized.
Yes. So the first one, which I think is absolutely brilliant, which is the movement book. So the movement book is something that it's really good for your morning meetings. It's also good if you're out of the office, you've been on holiday for a couple of weeks, come back into the office, you can then filter this. This will show you for what branch you want to see. And on the little magnifying glass, you can choose what period of time. And anything that's in orange is what you're reporting back on. And going across, you can move that blue slider and you can go up to 4 weeks back. So I think that's really handy, especially for your morning meetings and, like I say, if you've been out of the office.
Brilliant. Excellent. So
Okay.
great insights there into our property file, bulk invites, our movement book. At this point, I don't know if you were going to show us anything else. So
there was, if you could go on the next option down, which is
Yep.
property map. So again, property map is something that is underutilized. Perfect in 2 scenarios. So this will tell you where all your properties are. So if you click on the 69, that will then zoom in. If you then click on, let's say, the 21.
Oh, I went for the 5. Sorry.
It's okay.
Excited by that.
It's okay, no problem. So you can now see all your properties in that area. You will notice that sometimes you will see a blue house. The blue house would indicate a rental property, red would be a sales property. And when you click on the property, you can then view that property. Again, the property map can be filtered. So we can filter on office and also what you'd like to see available under offer. Or you might want to look at your comparables and then look at your completed and exchanged. So again, that is something that's very useful.
Brilliant. Excellent. Yeah, I like saying, I think they're really underutilized areas, that movement book to manage your morning meetings, and if you've been away and look at what's happened in the market. And again, that property map to really target certain areas you've got lots of appraisals in, or again, utilizing that for what we've sold. Are we strong in particular areas? So let me just bring my screen going back. We're now going to move across to Matt. So Matt's going to give us an update on customer support. You might have seen some emails coming out from Matt recently talking about some changes. But most importantly, he's going to talk us through those now. And again, what our plans are for opening hours over Christmas. So Matt, over to you. And you're on mute, Matt.
What a great start.
No worries. The classic Zoom, forgot that I muted myself. Yeah.
Schoolboy error. Thank you, James. Hello, everyone. My name's Matt. I'm head of customer support for Alto. And I want to take you back to June, because in June, we made a fairly momentous change in that we outsourced our team to a company called Ventrica, based out of glorious Southend-on-Sea in Essex. We did this for 3 reasons. We built a short list of partners, and we decided on Ventrica because they were head and shoulders above the other prospective partners. We wanted to achieve 3 things. We wanted a better customer experience, a better employee experience, and we wanted to just get more efficient and modern. So in terms of the customer experience, what was very clear is that when you got through to one of our advisors, the experience was good. Our people are really knowledgeable. We've got really long tenure. They know their stuff. But it was the time that it took to get through. We had a number of tickets outstanding, and that number was growing, and it was becoming really problematic. We wanted a better employee experience. We didn't have any operational tech to support the team. So we were operating in a anything but modern environment. That sort of Damocles of knowing that we had a lot of tickets outstanding was a real burden on the team. And I think generally it's fair to say that the business didn't have a real understanding of the complexity of what the team did and how we could support them accordingly. Finally, we wanted to get more efficient. So we didn't have any tools that I alluded to earlier, like workforce management. We use Zendesk, which is a great system if you build it out and customize it. We didn't have the expertise to do that. And Ventrica were the partner that we could clearly see could help us with both of these things. And that would help us to better match our resource to work arrival patterns and seasonality, and matching tickets to the right people who could provide the quickest answers and most effectively. And I'll talk a little bit about what we've achieved in a second, but I'm gonna hold that back and talk about our hours. So we've extended our opening hours. We've listened to the market, and it's clear that support is needed outside of the core office hours. So we're now open Monday to Friday, 8 till 6. On Saturday, we're open 10 till 4. And we're looking at Sunday. Sunday's under review. We don't see a lot of activity ticket-wise on a Sunday. So it may be that we don't extend to Sundays. If anyone is screaming at the screen right now thinking it's really important, please let me know. In terms of Christmas hours, on the 22nd of December, we'll be open 9 to 5:30. From the 23rd to the 26th, we'll be closed. From the 27th to the 29th, back to 9, 5:30. Then closed on the 30th and the 1st of January. Back open on the 2nd, 9 to 5:30, and then back to BAU 8/6 from the 3rd. And so I want to talk about a few numbers and how the team are performing since we moved over to Ventrica, because it's worth reminding you that we tupied over the original team. So we didn't lose all of that expertise. We lost 1 or 2 people along the way through natural attrition, but the vast majority of the team stayed and are performing their socks off. The big news is we don't have a backlog. We're operating at around about 200 to 300 tickets outstanding at any one time. That is substantially less than 1 day's work. We will get your ticket answered within a day, unless it's complex. In actual fact, last week we answered 80% of tickets in 5 hours or less. And again, coming back to the level of complexity, if it's a relatively simple ticket, you're probably going to get our answer in minutes. But it will be longer if there's missing information or if it's a complex piece of work that we need to refer up to our tech team, for example. And with regards to gathering information, I'd love to remind you about the submit a request process of ticketing rather than emailing us. You can log a support ticket in Alto via submit a request. We've improved the form, so it's easy for you to provide all the relevant information. This lets us resolve your ticket really quick and ideally first time round, because we've got all the data we need to provide you the answer. You can also track your outstanding tickets in the requests tab in the help center. So you can keep tabs on everything you've got going on with us, although I'm pretty confident that it won't be too much unless they're complex issues. So that's it from customer support. I hope you agree that we've come a long way in a relatively short period of time. A lot of the noise around delays, problems that were coming through to me and some members of the senior team, touch wood, simply aren't happening anymore. But if you do experience any problems, if you do experience any delays or any lapses in service, please feel free to contact me directly, and I'd love to sort it out for you. Thanks for your time.
Cheers, Matt. And there's some really great work being done there. Again, you know, the response times are kind of fantastic. The level of information that's coming back has really improved. It's great to see that we're capturing more information to be able to deal with those tickets so much quicker and so much more efficient. The ability that you can now see where your ticket is at and what's happening with it, again, just it helps alleviate, doesn't it? Us submitting multiple tickets and seeing where we're up to. Now, obviously, this is an extended version of Alto Insider today, 45 minutes. We are going to thank you for obviously joining today, and we look forward to seeing you next year. However, it doesn't quite finish here today. Anyone that has any additional time or wants to stay on, we're actually going to do a bonus top tips in Alto with Neil. So I know we're at time in terms of our prescribed 45 minutes. So I'd like to thank you all for attending. Anyone wants to stay on for our bonus top tips, feel free, I should say. Sure, that's a drink. Feel free to stay on. And Neil's going to take us through some top tips over the next 5 minutes. But otherwise, if not, we look forward to seeing you on next year's Alto Insider. Otherwise, Neil, I'm going to hand over to you to take us out for those that are staying on for our Alto top tips.
Right, thank you. Yeah, I won't keep you too long, but a few tips on how you can search for records that you may not be aware of and may not have considered. As you can see, I'm looking at a property record at the moment. I might need to search for properties. We know we've got the search box in the top right-hand corner, but what you may or may not be aware of is there is a little down arrow to the right-hand side of that search box, allowing me to choose which records I'm actually searching through. So if I click on that, and this is set to the defaults, you'll see by default, the system will search through all of your currently active records. Archiving is turned off. So notice that if I wanted to only search through, let's say, my available properties, I don't want it bringing up lots of properties that we've dealt with previously, then I can click on all at the top and none, so that nothing's selected. And then I'm able to say, just show me, just search through my active available properties to see what I've got. So if I look for Coronation Road, I'm hoping that one's still available. And it's not, but it's not coming up. But as you can see, if I was just to type in something more brief like road, it will bring up all the properties I have where road appears in the address, but only my available active records. And as I've set that filter there, that will remain set like that for the remainder of my session. So in other words, until I log out. This is also available when you're searching for your contacts as well. So I also have the ability to filter what applicants I'm searching through. Again, archive turned off by default. And again, it's going to search through everything unless you say otherwise. And finally, the same is true on tenancies. So if I'm only looking through, I only wanted to look through my current periodic ones or my currently active ones, or maybe bring up a list of my renewed ones, I can do that. So just a quick something there that you may not have already been aware of. But what I want to show you next is a way of searching that you may not have considered. Here at Alto, we've tried to anticipate what lists of properties you might want to bring up and have catered for that in terms of the fields that are available. But sometimes you may want to try and do something that we hadn't considered. So let me give you a scenario. Let's say in your agency, you have premium listings, certain properties that you're really putting to the forefront of your advertising. At the moment, at face value, there is no way of filtering out or highlighting your premium properties within Alto. Or is there? If on this property, I go into the properties section and I simply scroll down, you may have spotted this user 1 and user 2 fields on your property records and wondered what they're for. This is for that very purpose. So let's say, for example, this property here, Dovecote House, is one of my previous listings, and I want to be able to see what I'm currently got as premium. So the user 1 field is alphanumeric. So within here, I can type in letters and I can type in numbers. So what I'm going to do in here is I'm going to simply type in the word premium to identify this as a premium listing. I also have user 2. Now, this one takes numbers only. So again, if you've got some way of filtering your properties based upon number, then I can put a number in here. So having set that, and I'll just save that record, let me show you how you can then filter your properties based upon these entries. So if we go to the groups button at the top of the screen, and alongside my groups, I hit the plus symbol to create my own filter. So I'm going to name my group Premium Listings. Yeah, give it a title. And on this screen, I can then, of course, filter what I want to see. Now, you're possibly familiar with this already, so I won't dwell too much on it. But if I click down into, where is it? Yeah, on there, you can see here, user 1 and user 2. So if I type in here the same keyword, premium, and I save that group, and then refresh my browser, now when I go into this group section, you can see I've got a new group there called Premium Listings. And if I click on it, as you can see, it's bringing up any of my properties where the word premium has been put into that user 1 field. Similarly, I could create another group based upon the fact I typed in the number 7 into that property as well. Then I might want to see all the properties that have the number 7 in the user 2 field. And if I just view the results this time, I don't want to save the group. Then it just brings up the list of those properties where the number 7 has been put into that user 2 field. So it's letting you filter your properties in ways that we may not have considered that you might wish to. We could do something similar with contexts as well. So within the context, we are able to filter out a list of contacts based upon what has been put into their contact notes. So, let's say, for example, what did I did use an example earlier. What did I try earlier? My mind's gone blank. Oh, I could have sworn I'd done it on there. Never mind, I'll do it anyway. So in the contact notes here, let's say perhaps you're trying to identify all of your, trying to think of a scenario. I had one in my head earlier, especially for this.
All right, we'll go for it. We could enter, I know, someone's favorite chocolate bar, for an example. Everyone that loves Cadbury's, Neil, because we're going to do a Cadbury's giveaway. Yeah,
I was trying to do a better example than that, but this will suffice. Yes, I can either type into the contact notes here, or if I'm dealing with an applicant and we look in their requirements, the system can also filter based upon any notes that are added into these additional profile notes here. So maybe someone wants to be, in the catchment area of a particular school. So if I put Telford High School into my requirements notes, it means in the future, should any property come up in that area, in that catchment area for that school, I can then bring up a listing of all the applicants who have expressed a preference to have a property within that catchment area. So I've entered those onto Leah's record. And again, if I go into my contact groups now and go to add one of my own filters, then what you're going to want to do here is come down to the requirements section of the filter where I can put those keywords into my search notes. So for starters, Cadbury's, show me all the applicants where the word Cadbury's appears in their notes. I'm not going to have too many of these, but it should at least bring up Leah for me. And there she goes. Or similarly, and if I edit this, perhaps my group's not coming up correctly, so I can edit it. Then notice I can also bring up all those people where Telford High School appears within their search criteria. Oh, I've actually got a few there, look, this time in this example.
It's a very good area, Neil. That's why an excellent school.
And we also have the ability, if you're a lettings agent, to maybe bring up a particular list of people or tenancies that you might need to. So, for example, if I go into tenancy and details, I don't know, maybe provide different levels of service to your landlords. So you might want to identify your gold level of lettings service. So I found this tenancy here for Fraser at 12 Orchard Close. In the R reference box, I type in gold and save that. The first thing you might notice if I go back to Fraser's overview is that is then showing at the top of his overview as well. So just going into a tenancy record, I can immediately see whether this is one of my gold tenancies. But again, if I'm trying to bring up the list of my current gold tenancies, I can go into my groups. Again, click on that plus symbol alongside my groups in order to create my own filter. Nope, sorry, I do apologize. I can't do this one as a group. But what I can do is if I go into the search tenancies in the top right-hand corner and type in gold, then as you can see, it brings up the list of all those tenancies where the keyword that I've typed in has been entered into that RF field on the details tab of my tenancy records. So a few little ideas for you there to consider, how you might bring up lists of your records in ways that you've always wanted to, but didn't think Alto was able to do it.
Brilliant. Thanks for that, Neil. And like I say, anyone that stayed on there for a couple of little top tips, a few little cheats on how to really utilize the system to find kind of key buyers, key properties, filter that information, or categorize your tenancies. A few little ways there to do it through your property user codes, your contact notes, or your reference in tenancies. So like I say, thanks to all those that stayed on for that additional bonus top tips. Hard to get out those words. Otherwise, we look forward to seeing you next year at the 2024 Alto Insider.